What's going on, people? It's your boy, Uncle Fred, back in the house, back in the saddle. One more again, hit that like, comment, and subscribe. Become a part of Uncle Fred Sports Experience. I guarantee you, you will not be disappointed. Listen, tried to tell y'all, okay? Tried to tell y'all if the Cowboys win, did not I picked them to win in my pick segment. Okay. All right. I did that. All right. But I wasn't going out of my way saying, oh, yeah, we're going to whoop them. We're whooping them. I said, no, it's going to be a good game. Eagles got a formidable defense. Big Fangio know what he's doing. I said, but, what did I say? If we beat the Eagles with all the naysayers, with all the talking heads, with all of the trash pigeons talking, all of this stuff, even at my church, it's gonna be a funeral. Yeah, it's gonna be a funeral. We buried 53 Eagles. Sure is. I told y'all I was gonna be insufferable. What I told y'all, your boy was gonna be in there. I was gonna get out of character because I'm usually quiet, reserved. Okay, all right. But I done heard as much as I want to hear. I done heard y'all disrespect my quarterback as much as I can take. I done heard y'all disrespect, you know, CD Lamb. CD Lamb needs a little bit today, though. I'm gonna get on him a little bit. But we're gonna talk about that here in just a minute. Cowboys overcome a bunch of stuff today. Overcame a bunch of stuff. Hung in there. Stayed the course. Played 60 minutes. Not 30, not 15, but 60 minutes. And they got a victory over the Eagles. And we getting ready to talk about it.
Two times on the beat, bitch.
All right, let's get to it. So Cowboys get the win over the Eagles. Didn't start out well. Got 3 and out. First time we got the ball, which I'm not understanding why they. I mean, I'm guessing I get why they took the ball first, but I kind of want the ball in the second half. What did I do with the beverage? Here she go. All right. And we went 3 and out or 4 and out because I think Pickens had a 13-yard completion or something like that. Then we ended up punting. Eagles proceeded to go. Well, shoot. Okay. All right. I had it over here. I don't know why it went away. But okay. It's not a problemo. Not a problemo. Got it right here. I don't know how it went away because it was right here. I had it over here. The Eagles ended up going. I mean, and they jumped right on us, man. I know I heard all the talk all the week about, people in the front office not liking the offense, not liking what Jalen's doing because he's risk averse. They don't throw the ball in tight windows, don't take chances. Okay, yeah, we went 6 plays, 22 yards on our first drive. Then the Eagles went 7 plays and 50 yards. We went for it on 4th down and didn't get it. That's right, didn't get it, got stuffed. And they went 7 plays, touchdown, AJ Brown, 7-0 Dallas. I'm like, okay. And we go 3 plays, 9 yards, don't get the first down, punt. Eagles go 12 plays, 76-yard touchdown. I think another touchdown to AJ Brown, if I'm not mistaken. And then, of course, it's 14-0. Okay. That was the end of the second quarter. And we had a fumble. We had 5 plays, 35 yards. We actually had a fumble on back-to-back plays, but what CD Lambs was considered down, and we're gonna talk about CD in a minute, but and then the Eagles from that point, we ran a play, which I got a problem with the play call because like we should have got enough for running CD Lamb out of the running back position like he's a running back. It's a whole different point of contact for running backs than it is for guys that don't do that on a regular basis. It's you got to be prepared for the kind of contact and stuff that you get in between the tackles. You know, uh, so and like Bosch said, Cavante Turpin is a itty bitty. He's like 5'6" and 150, 155 or something like that. Little bitty dude, and he kind of caught it. Now he didn't get any real contact. He just kind of caught it, and he kind of like took the hand off and kind of stumbled forward. It was just awkward. Um, so I'm like, you got enough running backs back there. Only thing I want Javon Turpin doing is running end arounds and jet sweeps and misdirection pitches and stuff like that to the outside. That's all I want him running. I don't want him running up in between the tackles and stuff like that, like a traditional running back. That's what you got Javonte Williams and Malik Davis for. That's what you got them for. Use them for that. But he fumbled, kind of stumbled into the leg of his left guard and fumbled it, and Zach Bond recovered it, and the Eagles went 6 plays, 66 yards, and they went open, they went empty, and went Jalen Hurts over the middle, which I don't know how y'all don't know when they go open. Jalen's running the ball, be prepared for that. But Quentin Williams kind of got wiped out by Jurgens on that play, and the middle was wide open. He ran it up the middle, it's 21-0, and I'm like, man, all of this, build up for this game, and then dang, it's going to be a blowout. It's 21-0. I mean, I'm sorry, I was thinking that, but I was like, come on, I mean, I'm saying, but can we just stay the course, man? Just stay the course. Just stay the course. That's all I'm saying. Just, and I'm getting text messages from folks, talking about, and I ain't say nothing. Yeah, what you gonna say? You're getting whooped. It's 21-0. And then we get the ball and we it's 21 and we get the ball and we drive down to the 2-yard line, and uh Tyler Guyton jumps. I believe, and I don't know it for a fact. It'll come out before the, as the week go on, they'll tell you what they heard, what happened in the game. I bet you when I listen to Mike Fisher in the morning, and I'm going to listen to Mike Fisher in the morning. You can best believe that. I bet you they're going to say that somebody on the Eagles simulated that Dak saying, because I think they was going on a quick count, and I think somebody said ha, ha, like that and made him jump, and because he's looking like, and they went back 6 yards, get it on third down, then on second down, on third down, and he threw an interception, in which I thought there was a penalty on Blankenship, because I thought he was behind CeeDee Lamb and kind of grabbed a hold of his jersey and slingshotted himself forward where he could go ahead of him and intercept that. But the contact was kind of minimal, but I did see it looked like he got an advantage by doing that. But whatever, interception. And we forced them to punt. They went 3 plays, -2 yards. Our defense played stellar after like the first quarter and a half. Shout out to Kevin Petula for calling a good game for about a quarter and a half, because they was under it. I mean, they was getting it off from everybody, from all of the Eagles content people, Lord Brunson and all them dudes, Philly Five, all of them was giving it. They were saying it. Yeah, offense is, not stale, and they, whatever. AJ Brown was complaining. He got the ball today, got 2 touchdowns, over 100 yards in reception. So maybe he's happy now, but they lost. So what they're gonna say now is that, well, you got your catches and we lost. I don't think that's fair, but that's what's gonna happen. So right before halftime, we get the ball. We go 6 plays, 72 yards, 1 yard, a 2-yard touchdown pass. George Pickens, 21-7. It's 21-7 at halftime. Okay. Third quarter, we forced them into 5 punts. Well, 2 punts for real. Then we had a 3-yard, 3-play, 4-yard punt. and then they went on a 6-play, 18-yard, and they punted. We just basically stuffed them in the second half. I mean, they got a couple of first downs here and there. And then we went 8 plays, 63 yards, got the ball off of our own goal line and drove it down to inside the 40. And Aubrey missed a 51-yard field goal, which would have made it 21-10, would have stayed 21-7. Forced the Eagles to punt. They go 3 plays, 7 yards, and they punt. Then we get the ball at our own 11 after the punt, and we go 7 plays, 89 yards, touchdown. And he goes to who did he go to? Shoot, I forgot, man. Who he went to on that. I believe he may have scored that himself on a like 11-yard run. And tied it up and made it 21-14. And then we called up and we made them punt. I mean, they punted every possession they had in the second half. And of course, we forced them to miss a field goal too, but it was a 56-yarder. I mean, you're not Brandon Aubrey, you know. And so, you know, then we go 3 plays after a fumble. You know, that they were driving, and we caused Saquon to fumble. And we jumped on it, and we go 6 plays, 33 yards, and get a touchdown. I think that may have been the one that, that second one was a touchdown to Brevin Spanford. I remember now. Touchdown of Dak rolls out and hit Spanford in the back of the end zone. I remember now. It's coming back. Then we got Saquon to fumble. Then we drove 33 yards, and then we get a touchdown, and Dak Prescott 11-yard run off, ran around the left and just kind of kept running, got to the end zone. Then we went 3 plays. Then we caused them we got another punt. And then we gave it up on downs. I thought we should have kicked the field goal there. We were inside the 2-yard line, and we would have taken the lead. But they decided to go for it on 4th down, thinking, okay, well we're gonna bury them. I guess the thinking is, they're not going to drive the length of the field on us, right? So, they're not going to drive the length of the field. So we got the confidence here to go for it on 4th down, and Dak kind of drifted a little too deep and threw it in the middle of the field, and it kind of bounced to Ferguson. It was short anyway, but the goal line, and so we end up turning it over on downs. And then we forced the Eagles to punt 5 plays, 17 yards, and they punted. And it was made possible by like an 11-yard sack by Oso Digazua. We had been getting close to Jalen all game. And I got to credit Quentin Williams on that, because you gotta double team that guy. And then Digazua, that's back-to-back games with sacks, big sacks in games. And he got like an 11-yard sack that forced them like where they could even attempt a field goal or anything like that. So we ended up punting. And so we end up going 9 plays, 49 yards. It ended up being like a 32-yard field goal. Brandon did not miss this one. Kicked it through the at the time elapsed. Field goal. Everybody drive home safe. And the Cowboys win the game. So let me give you some stats. First of all, let me get back to it, because I'm looking at the stat sheet right now. So let me get back. Let me look at y'all when I say this. Cowboys showed me something tonight. Okay. Because this is a game they would have mailed it in before. I'm crediting Shoddy for not letting them give up. I'm crediting Dak for not letting them give up, because when Cavante Turpin fumbled, Dak was the first one went over. Tom Brady says the first one over. Dude, don't give up on. We're not giving up on you, man. We're gonna need you later. And he caught like a 38-yard pass later in the game. I think it might have been bigger than that. Shoot, let me see here. Let me see this. Shoot. I don't know why the stats go away when I move off the screen. It should stay there, but that's okay. We're not gonna make too much out of it. We're just gonna work with the tools we've been given. But anyway, Cavante Turpin had he had yeah, he only had one catch for 48 yards. And I think I want to say that's the one that set up the where we didn't get it on fourth down. I think that's where that happened, if I'm not mistaken. But there was after the fumble, so he came back to him, caught a little caught, Dak rolled out and was running out of room and saw him creeping over the middle, threw it to him, and he just took off running. I thought he was gonna score, but I think he got ran out of bounds at like the 22-yard line. Man, that sure do taste good after a Cowboys win. Um, but yeah. So anyway, let's get back to. Let me look at y'all. Like I said, I'm gonna look at y'all when I say this. Cowboys showed me something here because this is a game because a lot of things didn't go their way. Eagles jumped on them. Everybody was talking about, and I felt like that might happen because everybody was bagging on the Eagles in terms of like, oh, their offense is trash, and the offense is kind of trash. But I just think that they're just not imaginative. I think with the personnel they got, there's more things that they could do with that offense. But I think some of it is due to, Jalen's kind of one dimensional. I know he's like, everybody's like, well, he's a winner. Yeah, but dude, there's like Pro Bowlers at every position around him. I mean, if they had Lane Johnson's a perennial Pro Bowler. Landon Dickinson's a Pro Bowler. Cam Jurgens is a Pro Bowler. Malata on the left tackle is a Pro Bowler. Saquon Barkley is a Pro Bowler. Well, he was last year. He's not having a great year this year. Okay, defense. Jalen Carter is a Pro Bowler. Zach Bonds a Pro Bowler. Quinnell Mitchell is probably going to be a Pro Bowler. It's dudes all over the field. I mean, if you can't play with that much talent, you can't play. Okay? And they got Jalen Phillips. That's the, and sometimes you got to look at the difference in how the organizations move. And although I love how the Cowboys are moving now because they're realizing that, man, we got to do more if we're going to compete with these teams because we're losing ground. Eagles had a top 5 defense and went and got Jalen Phillips from the Dolphins. Okay. We only went and got Quinnen Mitchell because we had the 32nd ranked defense and we were like getting ran off the field, making backup quarterbacks looking like Pro Bowlers. So I made the comparison. It's like one team builds its team from the foundation, builds the foundation, puts on, the framework, puts the decking, the roof, and everything's in order. And then when things happen, you're fortified against that. Whereas we build teams based on, we'll just kind of throw it together. And then like, we won't think about putting a better roof on the house until it starts leaking. And that's just not the way to build. The Eagles will go get a player when they don't even need that player. They say, oh, we might could use him later. Earlier in the season, they had no reason to go get Tank Bigsby, but they went and got him because they said, hey, we can't go through a whole season with running back. You'll run him in the ground, And they went and got him. Spent a 4th or 5th round pick and went and got him. The Cowboys like, we good with Javonte Williams, and we're gonna cut or make a season-ending thing on Miles Sanders, and they ain't gonna get nobody. When there was backs to be gotten, we'd be fine. And the Eagles are like, no, we're gonna need another back because we never know. Because it's late December games, you don't want to run, you want fresh legs in there. And see, we don't think about that. We'll think about that if Javonte Williams go down. Then we'll be surfing the waiver wire trying to get one. Don't be trying to repair the roof when the roof is leaking. That's all I'm saying, right? So but I do like that we starting to get some guys back now. We got Quinnen Williams, Overshown. I know he's a little rusty. He even said as much, and I apologize for the video I made Friday night. My interview was not audible. I don't know why I was not audible because I heard it in my headphones and my peak meters was going off. So I mean, I can't listen to what you're hearing. So So all that whole interview, you didn't hear it, but Overshown's a dude, man. He's one of them guys, man, that infectious, man. But we got him. I saw Siobhan Ravel make a couple of plays. He got a couple times because I mean, dude, that's Devontae Smith. He's one of the best wide receivers in the game, probably the best route runner in the league right now. If I had to rank them right now, I would go him. Devontae Adams is like 1 and 2 in no particular order. But we're not here to talk about those guys, whatever. But I'm just saying he got his lumps a little bit today, and he made a couple of plays. But that dude's going to be a dude, right? He's going to be a dude. And I saw some plays we missed. I saw a lot of our linebackers was out of position on them halfback dump off passes to Saquon, and he'd get to run 15 yards and not see nobody. I'm like, where's the linebacker at? Why is he not peeling over there? Where's Overshown at? Where is uh 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 K9? I can't think of his name. Where is he at? Murray. Where's Murray at? Where's Logan Wilson at? They're supposed to be, because really how I watch understood football, linebackers usually covered the backs and safeties covered the tight ends. And of course the corners cover the wide receivers. That's what the way I have understood football or whatever. So, you got to cover Saquon wherever he's at on the field, right? But whatever. But I am encouraged by, we give up a couple of plays and then we locked in. Okay, we locked in, got enough pressure to force Jalen off his spots, force him into some bad throws, force him into some bailout and then just throw it away. Uh, forced him into throwing it underneath, and we make the sure tackle and get off the field. I mean, I think we forced like six punts in the second half. I mean, we'd be lucky early in the season to get 2 punts for a whole game, let alone getting 6 punts in a half. Okay. We didn't give up a single point in the second half. Okay. So there's something to be said here. And what did we say? If our defense can just become, I don't know, towards the middle of the pack. We ain't gotta be great. Just get towards the middle of the pack. Okay. Can we get in the middle? Right? Because I think our offense can eat if we can get opportunities, right? I got a chat. What's going on, Coach? Said, yes, sir. You know I was coming on tonight, buddy. You know I was coming on tonight, man. Appreciate you rocking with me here for a minute. I couldn't even wait, man. Man, I was hollering so loud during the game. At the game got close and everything. That I got hoarse. My son's an Eagle fan. I don't know how I raised him. You try to raise your kids right, man, but sometimes they go left, man. Sometimes you do the best for them. You do for them. You feed them. You clothe them. You do all things for them. You there for them anytime they need something, and then they go sideways on you. But I know one thing. I told him, it's like I told y'all, if the Cowboys find some kind of way to win this game, boy, you ain't gonna be. I'm gonna be bad company for a couple of days. Boy, I'm gonna be talking so much yang because I sat there and I took that for weeks. I took that. Listen, this way, man, y'all ain't beat nobody but the Raiders. They suck. We're gonna come down there and do y'all in. We're gonna do all that. Man, y'all can't do nothing with the Eagles. The Eagles are world champ. Tried to tell them. When we play the Eagles, we don't see them as world champs. We see them as another team in the NFC East that we have favorable success against. Dak is like 10-5, 10-4 against the Eagles. Okay. In his years at Dallas. 21-2 against the NFC East at home. Okay. And with all that talent, when he looks over there at them, he's like, I ain't scared of them. They put their pants on one leg at a time, just like we do. Ain't scared of them. All right. That's what he say when he see them. We ain't scared of them. We don't look at Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis and be like, oh my gosh, hide the women and children. We don't do that. We see them as like, yeah, we coming for y'all. And if we could have had a couple of, we didn't get that fumble by Miles Sanders, and if CD could have caught 2 of them drop passes, we sweep their ass this year. Okay, we sweep them. All right. So no, we ain't getting nothing. They get nothing from me. And I'm gonna say this, man. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna get into game balls and some of the stuff I saw and stuff I liked and stuff like that. But man, I'm gonna tell you like, man, I'm tired of the Eagles. All right, tired of them, sick of them. Run into a off the cliff. If you know, I'm ready for that. I'm ready for that. I'm so tired of them to like go away and not be here. I'm tired of them. I'm sorry. I'm not, and it felt so good to stuff their ass today. It felt great. All right. It felt good to bury them today. It felt great. We came back on their ass today. 21-0, and they dancing around and stuff. Yeah, we still coming. All right. And I'm sick of them. I'm glad we stuffed that stuff down your throat. Tired of y'all in that ugly green uniforms. We got the Kelly Greens on. We can't lose. Yeah. Got your asses beat today. Now, what you Eagle pacifiers are going to say, well, they ain't won no Super Bowl. Y'all moving the goalposts. And that's what that is. Because that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about when we play y'all, it's mano y mano. And we're not scared of y'all. We don't like y'all. We want to rub y'all in the dirt. Okay? And we was able to do that today. We had to overcome some stuff, overcome some penalties, overcome turnovers, overcome some dumb things, overcome CeeDee Lamb's drops. Look here, man. Let me start breaking down some things here. Now, CeeDee Lamb, I counted 3 drops that he had today. He dropped one on a 3rd down, and we could have, kept the drive going. And I want to say that was in the 3rd quarter. He dropped a touchdown pass that was in his hand. He dropped, I know he dropped at least 1 or 2 more in the game. I have to go back and look at the film because I ain't really looked at the footage or anything. I ain't looked at it. I'm coming on right off hot off the presses, baby. Because I had to get this off my chest. I had to get this off me, man. Because I've been wanting to, like I said, I'm gonna be talking stuff, because people talk so much junk about, man, y'all ain't gonna, and we still might not make the playoffs, right? A lot of things got to go our way to make the playoffs, and a lot of the teams that we need to lose aren't losing. Like the Bears aren't losing. They was able to come back on the Steelers today. I picked the Steelers yesterday, because I need the Bears to lose, and I'm gonna be conflicted come Friday because I'm gonna need the Bears to lose, but I don't want the Eagles to win because if the Eagles lose, they move closer down to us. And if we can beat the Chiefs, we become 6-5-1, and they're 8-4. Okay, with 2 games behind them, with a lot of games to play. They still got to play Buffalo. Okay, they still got to play the Chargers. Okay, there's still some tough teams they still got to play. All right, so. So yeah, I like shoot. We might could still catch them, if we could kind of say run the table. I know we still got Kansas City, and we'll talk about that here in a minute. Um, but yeah, man, they they did their thing today, man. Oh, got some more stuff here. What are we saying here? What are we saying? Okay. Jerry finally realized the time, 30 years, not being competitor to the Super Bowl. He had to do things different. I do not think Dak had the stuff to come from behind, but he did. He had a couple of I said a double. Really not a curse word, Corsair. Come on, man. That's not a curse word. That don't count, man. That don't count. Uh, that don't count, man. I'm still gonna be, but I told y'all I might be a little out of character because sometimes took all you can take, Corsair. Took all you can say. You can take all you can take. Because I done sat there and heard everything about how perfect the Eagles are. Don't get me wrong. I love how the Eagles do their business. I love how the Eagles team build. Okay. I love that. Right. And I wish we would do the same thing. And we're starting to do a little better. All right. But after a while, it's like, dang it, I get tired of it. I'm tired of hearing it. I'm tired of hearing this, tired of hearing that, tired of, at some point, it's like, look, at some point, enough is enough. I'm tired of it. You get tired of hearing, your quarterback trash, our quarterback's great. And I'm like, yeah, but our quarterback ain't never been afforded what he's been afforded. If you go back and look at how teams was built, we don't do that like they do that. And a lot of times when we go and we play teams in the playoffs, we're not as deep as those teams are. We're kind of top heavy. And when we're playing teams that's got 2-3 levels at defensive line, 2-3 levels at linebacker, 2-3 levels at the offensive line, and we're really kind of not, you're not good enough for them. Then you get an injury, okay, you kind of hurting now. You can't stay with them, And I'll go back to, people will say, well, man, y'all should have beat the 49ers that year that they beat y'all 19-12. I'm like, do you know how freaking good that San Francisco defense was with Nick Bosa, Javon Hargrave on the defensive line, Fred Warner, and what's the other linebacker's name? Because they were like the best two linebackers in not Javon Hart. He got Achilles in the Super Bowl. I can't think of his name, but that was the two best linebackers. And then you in the secondary, you got Jimmy Ward, Mafunga, and Tredarius Ward that plays for the Chiefs now. Oh, no, he don't play for the Chiefs. Who's he play for now? I don't know who he plays for now. And you expect Dak to beat them with CeeDee Lamb and Noah Brown and no Tony Pollard. You thought he was supposed to go up against that defense and beat them. I mean, I guess if you think that's what he's supposed to be able to do that, because a defense, and you got D'Amico Ryans calling the defense. All right. When you can just bracket CeeDee Lamb, okay, yeah, you got to beat me with Noah Brown. You got to beat me with what's that dude's name? T.Y. Hilton. You got to beat me with them dudes. You're not gonna be able to do it. As soon as Tony Pollard went down in that game, I knew we had no shot. No, because we didn't have anybody that nobody was a threat. And it was just our defense was able to keep us in it, but it's like, no, we ain't gonna be able to beat that defense with that. Why didn't we go get a second receiver? Like other teams would have did. Like, why didn't we go and get like a third round pick and go get a George Pickens then? Why couldn't we go do that then? So no, I didn't. I was like, you asking a lot for him to go through there with substandard talent against a star-studded defense like that with a good defensive coordinator. Smart teams not gonna let one guy beat them. Because like today, if we didn't have George Pickens, we'd have lost today. Because CeeDee Lamb was having one of them games where I might catch it, I might not. He had 11 targets. 11. At some point, stop freaking going to him. He's not there today. Right? But we got to keep going to him because he's one of our guys. He got $34 million, and we got to keep going to him. Okay, you're going to keep losing games. You're going to keep throwing picks. You're going to keep, he's going to keep dropping balls. Now, I know he don't drop balls a lot, but it seems like against the Eagles, he dropped like 7 passes this year against them. But if we didn't have George Pickens today, we'd have lost today. Because when they're defending CeeDee Lamb and he's in a funk or whatever he was in today, you ain't got, we got to go to Flournoy, which I love Flournoy. I think Flournoy is going to be a dude. I think he's going to be a dude, right? But he's not yet. He's a second-year receiver. Stop it. He's not ready yet. He's still in the oven. That dough's still soft. But if we didn't have Pickens today, we'd have lost that game. Because he would have been trying to force feed CD, got a couple of more interceptions. But luckily, we got a Pickens on the other side that you can't double cover them both, and he was eating. So it's like, okay, and you know what Pickens got? Pickens had 9 targets. Do you know he caught every single dadgum one of them? 9 for 144 and a touchdown. Meanwhile, CD has 11 targets, only had 4 catches. Now they went to him early in the game, and I think he lost it in the lights or something like that. Um, you know, whatever. I don't know if it was the lights coming in, the sun beams coming in through the east uh windows that they never close because they love the picturesque or whatever. I think Devontae Smith lost the ball in the lights like that too. Looked over the wrong shoulder and couldn't find the ball or whatever. So I mean, it's equal opportunity, whatever. So, but yeah, um, sometimes CD be in them kind of moods where he don't. I mean, like I said, he had great games, then he had games where he drops it, he looks disinterested or whatever. I'm not trying to give up on him. I'm just saying, thank God we got a George Pickens. That's all I'm saying. You went out and got a number 2 guy. Okay, that's something we normally would not have done. We'd have went in there with our Flournoy got to step it up. You know, Cavante Turpin, all 5'6", 156 pounds. He got to step it up. No, or you can go give a 3rd round pick and go get George Pickens off the Steelers, who obviously are not interested in keeping him. But you understand he is a talent. Thank God he's he's got like what 67 catches down, over 1,000 yards and 8 touchdowns. Um, thank God we got him. Okay, because that means teams can't just sit on, because now we're on equal footing with these other playoff teams. Okay, we're on equal footing with these playoff teams because if you play the Lions, if you guard Oman Ra, okay, if we bracket Oman Ra, well then Jameson Williams will be open. What you gonna do with him? Okay, if you're playing the Eagles, okay, we can double Devontae Smith. Well, AJ Brown's gonna beat you. If you double AJ Brown, then Devontae Smith is gonna beat you. Okay, all right. So if you playing the Buccaneers, you double cover Mike Evans. Well, Chris Godwin can beat you. You know, what I'm saying is we had to start becoming like and stack our teams, build our teams like the other teams who we're trying to beat. We're not trying to beat the New York Giants. Okay, they're not in our league. We're not trying to beat even like Minnesota Vikings. They got some players, but they're not ready. Um, New Orleans Saints or any of these teams that are not playoff level teams or whatever. They're not ready to be in the playoffs. They're not ready. They're not. But in order to beat the Lions, the Rams, dude, the Rams got Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams. They're so stacked that they was able to give up Cooper Kupp and didn't lose nothing. They're winning right now. I'm looking at their game. They're beating the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 28-7. You got to go see them. Okay? And, you got to come see them. So you gotta stack your teams, spend some money, be creative with the salary cap, and make your team on equal footing to the teams you got to beat. And them going to get Quentin Williams, getting George Pickens, which those 2 moves might be the best drafts or best trades of the offseason. I ain't gonna cost no 45 million. Yeah, that's a lot, man. That's a lot. I'd have to go El Paso on 45, but he can get 30. You know, he can get 30. You know, because I think he's earned everything we get. Man, y'all see that catch he made down the left sideline, man, with Cooper DeJean on him? Dak just threw that thing up there because he said, "I know George down there somewhere." He hung that thing up. George just went up and got that thing. You know, he a dog, man. He is going to make it hard for teams to beat us today because I made a list on my Friday's video, Corsair. I made a list of the 4 things I thought we needed to do in order to beat the Eagles. And I said, okay, we got to get good pass protection. I felt like we need, if because Vic Fangio is crafty, man. He knows how to disguise his blitzes and do all kind of things. I said if we get sacked 3, 4, 5 times, I said, man, and he's gonna force Dak into an interception because he's gonna be trying to like get rid of the ball quick, and they'll have somebody lurking underneath, Zach Bond or somebody underneath, and gonna get picked, because that's what the quick pressure will get you. That's how you get guys that throw interceptions. You throw guys underneath, and guys want to try to get rid of the football, and then somebody's under there, you get picked. But I thought the offensive line held up well. Uh, you know, and I think he only got sacked. He got pressured a couple times, but he only got sacked one time. I think it was early in the third quarter, if I'm not mistaken. And so I said, that's a check. We got pass protection. 2, if our front 5 can control the Eagles' run game. Eagles had 63 yards rushing. Check. Jalen did have a nice run to get the touchdown. They got it blocked up well, and he's able to run in there and get a touchdown. But for the most part, I thought we was prepared for that. Okay, uh, and I said if one of the other things I said if uh, we can affect the pass game and drop 6 back in the coverage, 5 and 6 in the coverage, and drop Overshown into like a spy thing. And I think it worked, kind of had marginal success at that. But we was able to do a little something with that. The thing that did get me mad was that we weren't able to cover the back leaking out of the backfield for dump offs. And that's something that's got to be addressed because your linebackers got to be able to peel off and get those guys. Man, they was getting sometimes Saquon get the ball, wouldn't be nobody over there, and he could get 10, 12 yards without nobody even touching it. I'm like, come on, man, that's you can't operate like that. We was able to get away with it today, but that's going forward. We can't go with that. And I said if we don't have any turnovers, I felt like we turned the ball over a couple of times, we weren't going to be able to beat the Eagles. And we did have a couple of turnovers. Dak threw an interception down in the red zone. Like I said, I thought Blankenship kind of slingshotted on him and whatever they ain't call it, but that's fine. Whatever. You ain't gonna get every call. And of course, Turpin fumbled, and that of course that led to us being down 21-0. And I thought like we gave away one in the red zone when we went for it on 4th down. We gave away 2 scoring opportunities in the red zone. Really, we wasn't supposed to win that game, because that's a big, because I feel the Eagles' defense is too good. We turned over twice. We gonna have a hard time winning, but we was able to overcome that. Okay, because the defense was able to hold the Eagles, without scoring in the second half. And I thought that was key. That kept giving us opportunities. Wolfie, Dak, and CD and Pickens will figure it out. Uh, my first Cowboy game. TK don't do my Cowboy stuff. He ain't a Cowboy fan. He's a Cowboy fan by proxy counter. He lives vicariously through me as a Cowboy fan. He knows I love the blue and silver. I've been a Cowboy fan since '77. My first Cowboy fan when I understood what was really going on, because I would watch football. I'm gonna be honest, when I was a little boy, I didn't even like football. I was like, football would be coming on Thanksgiving, to be games all on. I'll be trying to watch something else. And so I got into middle school, and people, the other boy, because I didn't play football growing up like that. So all the, they was talking about everybody, then it was the Steelers and the Cowboys and the Steelers and the Cowboys, the Raiders and stuff like that. And I happened to see Super Bowl 11 or 12, whichever one when they beat the Broncos. And I still remember that catch that Butch Johnson caught. And he caught it like that between his hands and rolled over the end zone and didn't have the ball. And they called it a touchdown. Today, that wouldn't be a touchdown. But I remember that game. And I do remember them sacking Craig Morton like 7 times. And I think Harvey Martin was the defensive, was the Super Bowl MVP, if I'm not mistaken, in that game. But that was the game where I first became a Cowboy fan, because I was like, I saw that great catch that Butch Johnson made, and I started, following the Cowboys. And of course, they got beat by the Steelers the next year, and I was pissed off about that, and but they kept coming, kept being relevant and whatever. And then of course Staubach didn't stay around but another year or two. Then there was Danny White, and Danny White kept knocking on the door, but he never could get past the NFC Championship game. So, but yeah, that I go all the way back to 1977. Tony Hill and Drew Pearson. That was my guys. Butch Johnson was like the third receiver. He wasn't a starter. You know, it was Drew Pearson and Tony Hill, Thrill Hill, number 80. That was my guy. Um, so yeah, that's when I became a Cowboy fan. Uh, he had one because they were trying to be cute, Corsair, because they were trying to catch them with too many men on the field. Stuff Aaron Rodgers do. You got 12 guys. Let me hurry up and snap the ball. And Vic Fangio, not a defensive coordinator, you want to try to quick snap it. You better sit there and see where his guys are aligned at before you snap that. Okay, because that thing got picked. And I think he knew it was, but he was trying to catch them with their pants down. But you know, yeah, that's a good play, but sometimes you can outsmart yourself sometimes. Um, but look, man, I don't think I'm gonna go back to your earlier thing. You said something about uh, I don't think they're gonna run the table. No, I think it'd be hard for them to run the table, man. Like I say, they got Kansas City. Um, um, So you think CD might be still hurt? I'm looking at your earlier messages. Okay, you think he might be still hurt. I think you were saying he's hurting the team. You're saying he's not 100% back yet, is what you're trying to say, maybe. Okay. There's something to be said there. Maybe he is. Maybe he's not, 100%. Maybe he's not. That is something. I wouldn't even I didn't even think about that. But that's a good that's something that bears looking at. That's for sure. For sure. Um, but no, they don't have to run the table because it'd be hard for them to run the table because they got the Chiefs in 4 days. I mean, now I know the Chiefs ain't what they were, and I'm not gonna sit here and brag about, oh yeah, we finna handle the Chiefs. We finna handle it, man. Pipe the heck down, man. Chiefs are, they have not been less than the AFC Championship game since 2018. That's been like 6 years ago, 7 years ago, however many years ago that is. They still got championship pedigree. They still got championship DNA, right? But I'm gonna tell you this: Chiefs better bring their A game. I'm gonna say that, and I don't think I'm bragging. Okay, Chiefs better bring their A game. Why do I say that? Because we just beat the Eagles with our C game. That was not our best game. I think our best game offensively was against the Green Bay Packers. I think we had like 500 yards that game. We had 478 today against a great defense with turnovers, with penalties, okay, interceptions and fumbles and stuff, and we was doing all kind of stuff in there. A block punt that really should have not have been a penalty, and they gave it to him. Nobody looked at it. They called Jadeveon Clowney for being offside, and I was like, Tom Brady's like, oh, I don't know about that one, you know. And that gave them another play, and then we had gotten off the field, So we had to overcome those things. We played about a C+ game today. Got off to a slow start, and we beat the Eagles. So not bragging about, oh yeah, the Chiefs gonna smell our smoke. We're gonna no, I ain't. I'm not gonna brag. I'm not that. No, the Chiefs are. The Chiefs deserve all the respect that they can get right now because they are the Chiefs. That is Patrick freaking Mahomes. Okay, that is Patrick freaking dadgum Mahomes right there, man. Best player in the last. As a player, he's a better player than Tom Brady. As a player, he's not as accomplished as Tom Brady because he ain't played 20 years. Okay. Let's see what happens when he plays 20 years. He's played about 9, 8, 9, or whatever. So He's played about half the amount of time that Tom Brady has played. Okay? So that's not, but as an individual player, there's throws that dude can make it that can't nobody in the league make. Okay. And so I'm not fixing to try to like make it like he can, we can just do something to them. But I'm gonna tell you, the Chiefs have anything less than an A game. I don't know. I think we can have them. I think we can get them. Okay. Because this wasn't our best game against the Eagles, and we was able to beat them. And I don't think the Chiefs defense is anywhere near good as the Eagles defense. They got guys that's hurt right now. I mean, you got McDuffie and what's the other cornerback then? Jaden Horton, and Chris Jones is not having a good season. Bolton, Chanel, all those guys. They Krolofus, linebacker out of Purdue. They got some guys, and what's the coordinator's name? He's good. I think Fangio's better right now. He's got more equipment and more tools to work with. We get time against the Chiefs, man. Dak's gonna eat, man. It's just a matter of whether, I don't know whether our defense, our corner's gonna be able to hold up against Pat, because he got, Rashee Rice and Worthy. Worthy runs a 4.2. You got a couple of dudes playing about 6 games at corner. Good luck with that. But I will say the Chiefs gonna have a hard time keeping us under 30 points. Okay, because I just believe if we get pass protection, I think it's gonna be hard to keep us under 30 points if we get pass protection. The games we've had trouble, Broncos, they got pass protection. They hit Dak like 10, 12 times in that game. He got pressured on like half of his dropbacks. Arizona got pressured. The tackles were terrible. They got pass pressure. We weren't able to, and we had 24 and 14 or 17 points respectively. But when we've had time to throw, I'm just telling you, I'm confident in what we can do offensively. So you remember started watching boys back in the 60s. Oh man. Wow. You got me beat, man. You got me beat by about 10 years. You got me beat by about 10 years. I'm almost pushing six decades here, but you got me beat by a little bit. But anyway, man, let me get back to my points here, and I'm gonna go ahead and close down. I'm gonna go and watch the rest of this. I'm gonna gloat a little bit more. I might come on tomorrow, good as I feel. I'm gonna talk some more junk, man. Because I told folks I'm gonna be insufferable, man. All that talk. Eagles fans are talk more junk than a little bit, man. They just do. And I mean, they just keep coming. They just keep coming at you. So when you beat them, you kind of want to shut them to, up. You kind of do. So I told him. I even told my pastor today. He kept talking junk about, at church. He's like, "Yeah, we gonna." I'm expecting to go to a funeral about 3:30 today. So okay. All right, man. I said, now the funeral you be planning for might be your own. I can't see that happening. Okay. Hey, I'll tell you, we beat y'all. Gonna be hard to live with for a few weeks. Gonna be hard to live with. I'm gonna be in your face for a couple of weeks. Y'all talk too much junk. And I sat there and took it, I'm gonna get back to my thing here. And my little points. And yeah, the Cowboys. Yeah, I thought it was some bad decisions. Like I said, the Dak decision to try to. I'm wondering on that drop CD he had in the end zone on 3rd down before the 4th down try. I'm wondering what George Pickens was on that progression. I'm gonna check in with Skywalker Steel because he'll have the all 22. I don't know if it's available yet, but I'm gonna look at see who they had on Pickens on that. If he went for him and Pickens was open. Here we go with that politics crap again. I'm like, dude, I'm going to Pickens every time. CD got to prove it to me. And I love CD Lamb. CD Lamb go through these spells sometimes, right? Remember the Green Bay game? Dak, it was 3rd and 5, and CD went over the middle, and the ball hit him right hands. He dropped it. He's sulking and doing all that stuff. And I'm like, dude, come on, man. I need you. I need you. You can't do that. You can't do that to me. So he had to start going to Brandon Cooks. And y'all remember, he went to Brandon Cooks on a slant. All 5'8", 195-pound Brandon Cooks. Well, I love Brandon Cooks. That ain't the route for him. And he got bullied and got intercepted because CD Lamb wasn't able to answer the call. Now, when CD go through them spells, number 3 over there, like, okay, you continue with your little pity party, with your little, pout party. I'm gonna go number 3, and he gonna get us out of it. Okay. Yeah, we might have to pay that dude. We might have to pay that dude. But shoot, the bidding started at 30 million, 4-year, 120, about 75 of a guarantee. Dude has earned that. Like I said, we don't win this game without him, and we don't win the Raiders game without him because CD was kind of, kind of all over the place in that game too. He made a couple of catches, but Pickens had that touchdown, 37-yard touchdown, which is like, man, that's one of the greatest yak plays I've seen, man, this year. And of course, he had the highlight play today. Had just a lot of conversion, 3rd down conversions, and just every time Dak went to him, every time he called him, Pickens was able to answer the bell. But they hung in there. Like I said, bad decisions by Dak. It was a bad decision by the coaching staff to go for it on 4th down. I said, man, let's kick the field goal. And then I feel like we can stop them. They're not gonna drive on us and score a touchdown. But let me give you the stats here. They hung in there for 60 minutes. It ain't a 15-minute game, ain't a 30-minute game. It's a 60-minute game. You got to keep playing, keep digging, keep stacking, keep chopping. All right. All of them cliches. You got to keep doing that. All right. And they caved. The Eagles finally caved. We kept chopping wood, and finally that tree came on. That big tree fall down. Big tree fall down. All right. Dak Prescott, for all your haters, 23 of 36, 354 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. George Pickens, 9 catches, 144 yards, and a touchdown. He had 9 targets. 9 catches, 9 targets. CD Lamb, 4 catches, 75 yards on 11 targets. So that means him and Dak was off on 7 throws. Either he dropped it or just missed timing or off, hit your hands. Because there was one that Tom Brady would say, well, he didn't hit him when he was specking it at the heel of his glove. I'm like, if you don't get the heck out of here with that, you're a receiver. The ball hits any part of your glove, you catch that. You're a receiver. We're trying to make it look like Dak made a bad throw. Ball hit him in the hands. And sometimes some of the content people be saying, now Tom B's throwing salt at stuff, whatever. And I'm like, I know he think, he the best that's ever played in terms of accomplishment. I get it, he is. And sometimes he's like, yeah, he said he can sit in his ivory tower and critique everybody else, right? But no, there wasn't nothing wrong with that throw. That was one of the other drops I thought he had. It was in the first half. And he probably thought that was going to hit him in the heel of the glove. And I'm like, dude, the ball hit your gloves. Ball hit you in the hands. You got to catch that. It was one in the first quarter when they was trying to sustain a drive and he dropped. There's at least 4 drops he had today. Okay. And we was able to overcome that. Overcome the turnovers, the drops, CDs sulking, dropping passes, dropped a touchdown, penalties, bad decisions. Got a big sack late. Oso Digazua kept chopping wood. Finally, he got in on the right guard. I think that was Steen. And he got a sack, like a big sack. And so right now, Cowboys are 5-1, and they've won back-to-back games for the first time this season. Couldn't have came at a better time. Now, do I think they're going to run the table? Let's see. They got Kansas City in 4 days, and then a week they got Detroit. Okay, and after that, they got the Chargers and the Vikings at home. Okay, then they got the Commanders and the Giants. They can get past Kansas City, and that's a big if. Like I said, I ain't fixing to say nothing about no Kansas City Chiefs. Like I said, but they got to play. They got to play a good game to beat us. We can get past them. Detroit ain't looked that great this year. I mean, they there, but I mean, they had to do all they could do to beat the Giants today. Jameis Winston was slinging that thing today. All right, hey man, the Porter is out for the season. That's a valuable piece of their offense. That's not a sure win for Detroit, even though we're playing over there. I think Detroit probably could win that game, but I could see if Dallas played that game and Detroit's off a little bit, and we can get pressure. And we saw how the Eagles was able to get pressure on them. I think I could see we can win. I think we can win that game. All right, and then we beat them 3 games. Who gonna stop us? You know. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's get Kansas City and get that next week. And just kind of get ourselves together and see where we go from there. Won 2 games in a row. We 500 for the first time since we was 1-1. Won 2 games in a row, and won back-to-back games for the first time this year. Let's just see where this goes, man. But Cowboys beat the Eagles, man, and that's all I got to say, man. That's all I got to say. Um, chicken shipping talk. Don't know what that means. And after the deep pass to Pickens at the end of the game, Turpin stepped up, playing active field. They should have wiped. That should have wiped. Let me see what you're saying here. That play and penalized 10-yard back. Yeah. Turpin step on playing active field. They should have wiped out that play and penalized 10 yards. Not sure what that. Trying to figure what you had to say on that. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and get on off here. Go get me a beverage of some sort. And I didn't notice in the I guess in the seemed like they came back against the Giants back in 2017 was a bigger deficit than 21 points. But I don't know. I gotta see. It said 21 points is the biggest deficit or something. I don't know. But hey man, it's a big win. That a win like that goes a long way when coaches be telling you, when they're telling you, hey man, stay in there, stay with me. Don't let go of the rope. Stay with me. Stay with us. Stay with me. Stay with the game plan. A win like today goes a long way to Brian Schottenheimer. When because the coach is supposed to say, "Hey man, hey man, don't get down, don't get down. Hey, I'm gonna need you." It's like when Turpin dropped that fumble. Dak went to him and said, "Hey man, I'm gonna need you." And he came up with a 48-yard play later in the game that kept him in, him in, active in the game. You know, when you come back in a game like that, that just lets you know that hey, if you stay with it, just stay with it. I know it's cliche. Everybody says this, right? But if you stay with it, good things can happen. You stay with it. Just stay with the game plan. Okay. But anyway, I'm gonna jump on off here, man. That's one of the longest videos I've done in a long time. And the Cowboys won, and I'm just tickled pink, man. And I'm getting ready to go off here and talk some junk because I don't care what nobody say. We doing what we doing, and teams got to come see us. All right. So once again, like, comment, and subscribe to the Uncle Fred Sports Experience. I guarantee you, you will not be disappointed. We catch you guys on the next video. God bless.
Two times on the beat, bitch.